Where is the freaking Weeble? Where is it? There we go. All right. 5-minute chart.
Yeah, I drew some trend lines for the 5-minute chart over the course of 2 days from June 5th. And it was just recently on its another pullback. So I'm setting my alerts if it breaks above the 15 EMA, but if it can hold above the 15 EMA, because it broke above recently, but it hasn't held. It kept on getting rejected. And I'm taking this into consideration because it's super oversold on the RSI and the CCI, and the KDJ is indicating a reversal for an uptrend. So I got that on my watch list for a day trade, not a swing trade.
Nice. All right. Next one. IQ. On the 4-hour chart, and I'm going to get the day chart because this is a really, really good stock to day trade and swing trade. You can see that it's a solid downward trend, but you may notice that it's in a slight downward pattern, but it doesn't really pay attention to it uses the 180-day SMA as
As a resistance.
as a massive resistance, because you can see that now, but it just got above it and then did a little pullback. So is it going to use it as a support, or is it going to use it as a resistance? And that's a big question.
Yes.
So I'd set your alerts for 1866 and create alert at or above. So I have that set there.
Yeah, and if it confirms to continue the same pattern, I would, to be honest, once it hits the resistance line of the moving average 180 day, like once it crosses the EMA again, I would jump in on confirmation and then sell at validation when it crosses the EMA again.
All right.
If it
Sounds like a plan. Right, regeneration is a therapeutic. Man, I can't even talk.
it's Regeneron, it's a pharmaceutical, I think.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. That's
Yeah,
all
there
right.
you go.
So it's on a downward trend pattern, but it has a strong resistance with the 180-day line. So it's probably going to come back down to 550 or 539, and probably use that as the middle ground. Here, let me just draw this as a resistance. That's probably going to be the resistance box, considering it's past, and it's probably going to hit somewhere within there. WB has been very, very good. Have this one sit on your watch list for the next week. But it uses the same thing, literally with every single stock. It uses the 180-day line as a resistance, as a downward trend, but it has high returns with the swing trading, basically. So it's probably going to do a double bottom and then start uptrending again. It's also high in the RSI, so whatever. WTI, very, very, very oversold. Will go down. Not even a question.
Yeah, I would wait until it hits the moving average 180 day as a resistance, and then we're just set your alerts when it breaks the EMA.
Yeah, because it's technically uptrending now.
Yeah.
VidQ, this is the Nikola Corporation. You can see that really, really good returns. It's basically a Chinese Tesla. So they focus on hydrogen and battery vehicles, so they're like, I don't know, a hybrid of them, but very, very good, especially for the long term. I could definitely see the stock being a $700 thing. So definitely buy some. I mean, not right now. It's way oversold, but wait for a good spot.
Yeah, I agree for long term.
Planet Fitness, very high, especially in the RSI. Wait for another pullback, but this Fibonacci line can be used as a resistance or a support. So wait till it gets at 79.85 or 70 to make a decision. And those are pretty golden right there. OLD, ProShares, very, very good, solid upward trend, except it's the market, and we all know what's probably going to happen to the market in the next few weeks because the Fed says so, and literally everything, every single hedge fund, every single business manager, every single CFO says it will happen. Therefore, I
Yeah.
really think that you should probably sell your shares in all market driven ETFs or even especially leveraged ETFs.
Yeah, it just broke above the 180-day MDMA, so
Yeah.
and it's indicating that this it's super overbought on the RSI, so it's more prone to go down. So yeah, I would definitely sell if you're in this.
Yeah. TQQ. Literally the same thing. It is ProShares Trust Ultra QQQ ETF.
Yep.
It's the same. Good, very, very good for long term. All you have to do is reinvest once or twice, or average up once or twice, and you're able to make like double or even triple your account within about a 100-day span. Like that's let's just go 99 days. That's 57%. If you reinvest your earnings at 50 days, at 46 days, and you rebuy, let's say you sell there and then you sell again right there, that's another 44%. So basically, you doubled your account in a half within 100 days, and that's very, very good returns.
Oh, is this TQQ?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Again, we would just be careful trading TQ in the next couple of weeks because of what the Feds are saying and a bunch of analysts. So
Also,
just
don't hold it over the weekend. Always sell it on Friday. If you are going to hold it during the week, which I'm probably going to hold it during the week because it has a very, very nice upward trend pattern, and upward trend patterns don't usually break that often. So I'm adding that one to the good for tomorrow. Yeti, very, very oversold. I mean, overbought.
mhm.
Um, very nice upward trend though. Probably on its way to hit a high, and then probably going to reverse at 38.04. TSM, don't do it.
It's already
Uh,
super low on RSI. Although indicators are pointing down, it may be a pullback or it may not, but everything's mainly pointing down. So I would recommend it. Yeah.
yeah. Especially that they're shutting down and Apple's production is ramping down, which is their main supplier. Um, what's it called? Okay, Anderson's. If you caught this one this week, good for you. um, I looked at it and I had it. I put it on my watch list and I literally did nothing. But it was a really, really good trade if you bought it at 6-1. Didn't know it's 6-8, and then you held it probably until now. Good for you if you did that, but it's probably going to go on its way down now. So yep.
Yeah.
Zillow consolidating. It's really, really high. You can't really do anything with it.
Yeah. I just wait for another opportunity. I'd wait for a pullback.
Yeah. Agen, don't do it. It's too overbought and it's too volatile. Tandem, set an alert for 81.77. That's when most likely confirmation will hit, and if it does, you could expect like a 10 to 20% gain in about 7 days. So that'd be good. VT, Vanguard Worldwide ETF, it's pretty overbought right now, and the returns are not great. So definitely don't do it unless you're like um, unless you're doing long term stuff. Costco, um, consolidating, very volatile. I would probably not do it. I mean, I've been holding shares since like 2015, but
Yeah.
it'd be
It's more of a long term stock. I wouldn't.
yeah.
Uh,
And consider they're actually a really good company for long term because they just are taking on like Amazon and everything, and they're going reverse Amazon. They're making everyone come into their stores. They don't even really deliver within like a 10-day period, but they're mainly focusing on quality and customer service. So that's a very, very good stock for basically whenever. Um, Macy's. If you caught this one the other day, it's a very good upward trend. It could very possibly be a really, really good stock to invest in long term. Wait for another pullback probably until it gets back to the bottom of the stock RSI.
I'd be very careful with Macy's because of the fact that they're closing stores
Yeah,
and they're hiring less people, and the fact that they're being overrun by other big companies now, like Amazon and all that.
and they also
So just be super careful.
yeah, and they're also going they filed for bankruptcy,
Yep,
but
that too.
they're just trying to that's why the share price has been going up because the company has been selling shares and they're trying to give it to the investors to manage. So be wary, do like max 15%.
Yeah, this push up above the moving average 180 day, it's just a push up, and I think it's gonna pull back down after that. But yeah, definitely be careful with Macy's,
All right,
even though it's an option.
max R. Don't do it. It's going to go down.
Yeah, definitely all the indicators point down. MACD's prone to a reversal.
Plug
Don't do it.
too volatile for right now, but if it continues to do this, if it goes back to this, just have it on your watch list because otherwise it can be a really, really nice trend.
Yeah.
Lululemon. Literally, buy this stuff for swing trading, buy it for long term, just don't buy it right now.
Yep. It's been holding the EMA for like the longest time,
Yeah,
but that's super overbought on our side. I would just wait for another pullback.
I wouldn't. All right, so I'm going to draw a quick trend line, and what it's going to do basically, it's going to estimate when it's back into like regular trading. I mean, back when it's in regular usage, I guess. All right, so right there, as soon as it starts trading in between these two trend lines, that's when you should start to buy because that means everything's not going crazy right now. But it really, really was a good deal, probably around when it broke above the 180-day SMA. BILL, I got some crazy charts.
Or is it Billy?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I see it's creating a ascending triangle.
yeah,
Could break above the next resistance at $36. I want to say it's still holding above the EMA, but I'll just set alerts.
yeah,
Um, and KDJ is still indicating an upward trend. It's kind of overbought on our side, but not really. It still has potential to be overextended on CCI, so I'll just set my alerts on that one.
definitely. GoDaddy, very, very high right now. Probably most likely going to go down because
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and it's already, I guess you can call it validation when it kind of broke the EMA, 15 EMA, and all the indicators are pointing down. So I would just wait, set alerts for.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't even know because it's like it barely once it hits the EMA, once it breaks it below, then it pushes back up. So I'll just set alerts for the last time it broke below. But yeah, definitely be careful with GoDaddy.
yeah. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Freaking insane. You guys don't even know how much I love this one. It has insane potential. They're developing technology for self-driving cars, and literally that's all they have been practically doing. Their GPU sales are doing like above average right now, but they are basically selling self-driving technology to every single car company right now. And once they get full autonomy, they're expected to rule pretty much every single sector of self-driving.
Is this company going to be selling this self driving technology to competitors of Tesla, like the what's the other one called, Nikola or whatever?
No, Nikola has their own stuff, but like, what's it called?
Like the General Motors people, like Toyota and all them.
Yeah, yeah,
Are they going?
definitely. Actually, they're in some Toyotas and some GM vehicles, like some Cadillacs. Like they have the hands-free driving. So, yeah, Chegg going down. Don't buy it until it probably hits 53.77
Yep.
or it gets below in the RSI because it's really really good in the RSI pretty much. You can see that's really once they got a breakout indicator, the next 2 days they had a huge push up. Same here and same here. So definitely an RSI stock. Gush, I know it doesn't look good, but if you zoom in, you can see there is a massive push right now. And I would actually consider holding it for about a month if it gets above 63.36 because that means it's starting its upward trend pattern. But until then, I'd either swing trade or day trade and be really careful with it.
Yeah, it's super overbought on the RSI, and this is a huge push up after what happened in the past days. So yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
careful and set alerts definitely.
Adobe. So
Ascending triangle again.
yeah, it's an ascending triangle. The it's a it's also a staircase stock, but has been pretty decent right now. Not that good. It's not a really good of a performer, but it's good for long term. The only reason why I keep it on here is because, I mean, because I wanted to.
I mean, you could make some profits on the pullbacks when it makes a new stair, but definitely it won't be as much as.
Any other stock? I mean, 4 days and 8%. That's pretty good. That's 2%. I mean, that's 0.1, 0.5% each day. But like, if you're thinking about it, that's definitely a good pull. That's a good deal. VTI, Vanguard Market Total ETF. Very, very good for long term, but it's also good for swing trading. If you're just looking for a solid swing trade stock, you can easily beat the market if you average up maybe once or twice. Um, just don't be stupid and buy at the top of the RSI.
Yeah, it's really at the top of the RSI. Don't be buying it like tomorrow.
Yeah. Another one on the list. Chipotle. It's consolidating. It's on the NYSE, so you really don't have to worry about it with all the stuff that's going on in the S&P 500. Chipotle Mexican Grill is really just it hit its top. It doesn't have anywhere else to go. People don't see it above a like a 2000. I mean a $1,200 stock. So what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I can imagine them pulling back and then just consolidating after for a bit. So
Yeah, it's probably gonna look for a resistance around the 180-day SMA.
yeah,
Drip went down because that's the inverse of some other stuff. XLK, a very, very solid upward trend. Very good for long term, considering that this is the technology sector of the S&P 500. No, the NYSE. I'm not even sure. I don't think it matters. Um, RCL, this is all government driven stimulus and people just buying up the shares and pushing them up. It's literally nothing is going on for Royal Caribbean. And in fact, they're most likely going to lose the money on this. So I would not buy until they start like actually making money. Especially
actually
if
having
yeah.
because everything's just opening up. Like no one's going on a cruise right now.
Yeah, no one
So
is going on a cruise like especially if you have like money. I mean, you could afford a doctor, but why
no one
would you
has it. There's
even
no
try to
cure for
risk it?
coronavirus right now.
Yeah,
There's no cure.
why would you even want to risk it? Like that's not even a question. Um,
So just think realistically when you're trading Royal Caribbean cruises.
yeah, Spice has been trading sideways, so it can be used. It's been consolidating, so it's probably going to make a one day a really big move up or a really big move down. You really got to be ready for it. But for swing trading and day trading, very, very good.
Yeah, definitely set alerts on Spice.
Dust, the gold ETF has been going up. I wouldn't consider it until. Also, this is a good sign of a potential recession. Every single time a recession happens, gold starts to go up, which it is doing right now. So, just saying. So,
Next time we have a recession, consider investing in dust.
yeah. SQQ went down. So,
Yeah,
just wait for consolidation and then a reversal. DGAS, I mean, you guys,
you guys.
don't buy it. Don't
Yeah,
buy it.
it's continuing that downtrend. Just set your alerts for DGAS.
Yeah. Literally, you'd have a better time buying at the top of the RSI and DGAS than at the bottom of UGAS. I
Yeah,
mean, really though.
yeah.
Um, where is the Peloton? Very, very good. A solid upward trend. Set your alerts for 46.53 because it's just a decent stock. I mean, it's Peloton, but as this thing, the coronavirus, goes on and people start working more, they're gonna buy less stuff anyways. And since the Peloton is basically an at-home gym, um, that's gonna go down considering people are gonna probably return to their gyms,
Yep.
and people are just gonna buy less of them in general. Um, Eric, very high and very volatile, but on an upward trend. So if you catch it above the 180-day line, you pretty much got gold.
Yeah, when the EMA and 180-day cross. Yeah, definitely.
Uh, let's go with this. Volkswagen. You guys don't even know. I follow cars a lot, and this is the ticker for Volkswagen. If you don't know, it's VLKAF, and it is just it kills it a lot. And their focus thing, I mean, they're focusing on a bunch of stuff like electric vehicles, hydrogen, safety regulations. I mean, they're at the forefront of pretty much everything right now. I mean, the emission scandal, that was, I mean, it didn't even cause it to go down. Like, that was a huge recall. And it,
Considering all this stuff, real quick, definitely consider this for long term.
yeah,
Out of all the innovations we're doing right now,
yeah.
basically.
Let's go look at the day chart. You can see here that's a very, very good swing trader. And especially like within a day, look at 4% for a car company. That doesn't usually happen. And
Yeah, especially now.
yeah, and yeah. All right, and then I got to finish off the list real quick. SPXL. I'm not sure. It's going to get above the 180-day line, but it also couldn't. So it does not really matter. Jets, hardcore ETF. I mean, if you were going to invest in one company, I mean, definitely this one. Hibs, low, don't do it. CRL, um, really high right now. That's all I can say. It's not really a good buy. So I'm going to go over the ones that we would recommend this week and why. And actually, we're going to look at some RSI scans. Let's look at for some. This one has potential. No, they're pretty bad right now. All right, so these stocks are the ones that I'm recommending: ADRO, ARCT, BIP, DRN, DSLV, DUST, QQQ, WTI, and WB. I mean VTI, not V. I mean WVTI. I mean WB. All right, so that's basically how we're gonna